Happy Lionsgate, everyone. Um, Beautiful, beautiful, amazing soul family, and anyone on this path and journey I have yet to meet. I wish you the happiest of days. It is near the end of the day, I suppose. It's 10:30 p.m. here in Calgary, and it is been a beautiful day. Um, I spent the day at the park today. Um, at a social distance hula hoop gathering, and we all just hooped all afternoon, and it was beautiful. It was really a really nice way to spend the day, and I haven't socialized like that in such a long time. Um, and it was really nice just to connect with people over around the things that we love. And I had my boy Compass with me, my dog. um, his mama, um, my other dog, passed away. She crossed over to the Rainbow Bridge yesterday morning at 6:30 a.m., just the day before Lionsgate. And I thought, what an interesting transitional time for her to make her departure, and how timely of her to do so. And I know that she chose to do that as a gift for me, because her body was failing her, and it was getting more and more difficult for us to continue her care. And so, the selfless, beautiful soul that she is, she gracefully exited so that I can move into this next stage of my journey, a little bit more free, a little bit more available to the things that um, that I would like to tend to, but it felt challenging to do while looking after um, her as well, because I really wanted to be present with her. So today has been difficult. I feel the void of her presence, and I tried to tough it out all day, through movement, and just I really wanted to seize this day and not spend it crying in bed, which, holds a certain appeal. But I got up early, and I made sure that I wasn't going to waste it, this gift that she has given me of being more mobile and being able to do those things for myself now. I have to seize on that, no matter how I'm feeling. There's no excuses for myself. I just every day, if I do something, for me, it's good. That grows my soul and is good for my soul's medicine. I had really hoped to share some music today, but I really wasn't up for it. Emotionally, I just am too open and too raw at this time. So I'm choosing right now just to share a little bit about Lionsgate. If you don't know what Lionsgate is, it's 8-8. It's a portal. Um, they call it the 8-8 portal. It's a really beautiful time to activate things that and patterns that no longer serve you, and really call in. That's more around the full moon, which we just had. Now we're in this portal, and at the 8-8, that's a beautiful, powerful transit where Sirius, the closest star to our sun, is actually in alignment with our Earth. So we can align many of our intentions, many of our dreams, those things that have been maybe on the back burner, those things that we have really wanted um, to devote ourselves to and commit ourselves to. We can now really invest that review, that intention, that research, that fine tuning, all of those things. So that is exactly what I intend to do. I was feeling held back because of the situation, um, with my dog, and now she has moved into the spirit realm where she is my inspiration and joy and will actually be the focus of my um, concerts and everything that I put on. It will be in her honor. I'm going to call them the Pandora concerts. So I will start this tomorrow or this on the 9th. I intend to just do a small thing. I would actually like to open up with some mantra tomorrow, and just share a bit of space with you in that practice, as it's very healing for me. And um, mantra is a beautiful way for you to channel your emotions, anything that you're feeling that might be difficult, um, and to process all of that. And it's just there's so many benefits to it. I'll talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. I don't want to get too deep into that right now, but definitely feel free to join me on that. And I would love to share space with you. Right now, I'm just wanting to kind of spend a little bit time here with me and with you, just discussing what my plans are for me and what your plans are for you. So, taking a little bit of space for me, it's really about restructuring, completely fine tuning tweaking those last things that I need to get in order so that I really can take off. And also to be really gentle and kind about what it is that I'm doing, not to expect myself to grow too fast, not get discouraged, not to be discouraged with the investment of time and effort that it requires, and to really maintain that discipline and that vision and hold that in my, dear to my heart throughout the entire process. Because sometimes when you have like a really big dream or a really big vision and you're envisioning that, you can lose hope along the way sometimes, right? Everybody relates to this. So, that's my promise to myself. But to go into this with absolutely 100% faith in myself and in the work that I am passionate about, which is music education, healing education, like how to self heal, self soothe, um, how to transmute energy, and anything out of your life that you do not need in your life anymore. Um, how to transmute that, using creativity to really fuel your projects and really get in touch with who you are, um, and to get to know yourself through all of these practices, whether it be journal writing or dream, I call it dream catching, but it's like logging your dreams, understanding your dreams, understanding the language of your own dreams and how they speak to you, understanding the language of nature and how she speaks to us, understanding, the magic and the myth, or not the myth, sorry, the magic and the medicine of nature, whether it be plants or animals, in the totem energies that the animals and spirit guides have for us, whether it is food that you can intake, different plant medicine, essential oils, teas, different things like that that you can um, incorporate to help with your digestion, to help with your overall well-being. Um, those are the things that I find really passionate and I'm joyful to speak about. And so, whether or not, um, or how, sorry, how they get incorporated, in these sharings and offerings, is it's really just going to be kind of intuitive and free for all, like whatever I feel like discussing or sharing. If there's topics that are particularly of interest to anybody, I would love to do little sessions about that, or just info Q&As or anything like that. But to fully develop um, more into the ideas of what it is that I love to share and how I can make that available. I also am working on developing course material for my music teaching practice and incorporating the creative, the improv, and the the fun elements along with the technical. So I would imagine I will be I have enough, to make a billion different courses. So I don't exactly know how the first course is going to look, whether it's going to be a beginner course or whether it will be a spiritual, creative, songwriting, spirit song kind of um, course. So let me know if any of these have appeal to you and what you would like to see developed. Um, And yeah, my goal is to fine tune that. So, to do some marketing research, to just to put things together and kind of see how it all flows. Um, it's going to be really fun. I'm very excited. I have so many ideas, and I intend to see them to their fullness and to really nurture and grow them and to treat them like they are to my own children, to really to water and seed and nourish and fertilize um, and give that space and time to the passions that I have and really witness them grow. So I am really excited to just share space with you and involve you in the process. I am not um well known. I mean, I'm still getting to know myself. I'm still getting to know everything that I do and how it's going to be of service, how it's going to be helpful to other people. And I guess what I really wanted to hit home with is not to wait. I've spent a lot of time thinking like, "Oh, I should just wait until I have like a a product or like a something that is tangibly, an offer that I can sell to people. Not sell, I guess, and I'm trying to sell myself, but like that, that will really be high value and that is in a concise thing that you can, really you can unpack it and take it and it will be um, just done, you know. However, I think or I feel that it's just as important to talk about the process. It's just as important to log kind of how you get from one point to the next and what that journey looks like and how it feels and what you're excited about and what you're working on as you're working on it, and to give that behind the scenes kind of um, open, vulnerable, like here it is and this is what it is and this is how it grows, and that grassroots kind of feel, because I don't know about you, but for me, I often will see people doing something really magical and amazing, and you see where they are and you think it's just so easy, but they had to put in so much work, so much sacrifice, so much time, so much effort, so much education, so many days and nights of planning and this and that and that. And so wouldn't it be beneficial to have that process available and to see, wait a minute, okay, so she's over here, like really she's not where she wants to be yet. But she's got a vision, she's got a goal, she's got things in mind, and she's gonna share and open up that space so that um, we can just talk about it and we can all help each other along the way. Um, so that's kind of my intention there, really, it's for me too, because I don't want to hold myself back and wait for something to be ready thinking that what I have to share right now isn't important. And I know better than that. I know that um, there's many things in my life. There's many experiences that I have that I can share that will be of impact, that will be helpful to others. We all have medicine. We all are medicine for each other, and we all hold magic within ourselves. And so, the things that get me excited are talking about manifestation and how to, set your intentions, how to, reach your goals, how to create new habits. Um, and I am right here in the trenches, and I'm still in the midst of working through all of those things. So I am by no means actually arrived at any of these points, but I am definitely improving all of the time. And I have overcome some things. I have definitely, been on um, quite a wild ride. I've overcome a lot of codependencies and addictions, things that I never thought I would be able to get through. And so, while I have an intention that at some point I'll be putting these down, into like an ebook, and I'll be writing it into material that's available for you to have that way. I can also talk about it and just, have conversation. And I think that that's also a really important way to communicate. So, and a good practice of using your voice. So, one of the things that I've really, really, really personally found very difficult is to voice and express, to be comfortable in my skin and to show up and to um, just vocalize about things. And so having a platform where I can talk about what it is that I love to do and how it benefits my life and how it could have benefit for you is really exciting to me. Just getting to share stuff. I know that everybody gets excited by that. So um, I'm just really looking forward to doing that, and that's why the music really inspires me. And I'm really very excited to bring tutorials and um yeah, just creative freestyle improv, using your voice in the moment, writing music in the moment, being really present to the moment, kind of stuff, and not thinking about whether it's any good, not worrying about what it's not about the actual like refined excuse me, it's not about the refined um, performance yet. That will come through doing these exercises, right? This is more just for yourself. This is like the juicy, good, like feeling. I just do this because it makes me happy and it feels so good and I can't not do it, kind of stuff. And as you do that, then, you just get more and more confident and more, adept at what it is that you're saying. And, it's practice. So really, I'm sharing how to practice, and so that is, I suppose, my focus is really around the practice of different things, um, and embracing where you are within the practice of anything that you're doing in your life, and to share it with others, to really make that available to the people around you, because we all need to learn from you. We all need to um, experience things from different perspectives. And I'm having some throat chakra issues today, apparently. I have been crying a lot too, and I've been experiencing some sinusy things. I think Calgary is really dry. Um, Speaking of herbal teas, this is not a jar of urine. It looks so weird, and it's kind of like this neon green. Actually, it's a chrysanthemum tea that I made with some honey. And there's another herb in here, or like another tea, like leaf kind of thing. I actually don't know exactly what it's called. It's a blend of chrysanthemum and that. My mom had given it to me, so I'll have to ask her what that is. But chrysanthemum tea is really great. If you know anything about Asian medicine, or Asian, yeah, the like philosophy of Asian medicine, it's really there's the premise is really like the body can be too hot or it can be too cold, and there's hot foods and cold foods. So hot foods tend to like make you have like canker sores, and like um you'll just feel really like it's almost how do you describe hot, like constipation and things like that would be like hot. So this tea really helps with digestion. It really helps with cooling the body down. Like when you're inflamed, like, if you've eaten lots of spicy foods, it's like you get heartburn and you have like it's all hot. This is really good for that. And then sometimes when you want to eat cooling foods as well. So neutral vegetables, things like that will help to cool the system down. And then on the other side, you don't want to get too cold. Then you have to eat warmer foods to balance that out. Um, so, yeah, chrysanthemum tea. It's also really delicious and refreshing in the summertime. I just really find I just ice it, or I just put it in the fridge. I don't ice it. You actually, and that's like counter to any kind of healthy thing. You're supposed to not have cold stuff. That's in Ayurveda and in Chinese medicine. And I I really rebel against it because I love cold drinks. So that's sort of one of those things that I cheat on a bit. I like my smoothies and I like them cold. And I like my tea and I like to have it cold in the summertime. Um, but it's really not good for you. So don't do it unless you want to. Yeah, so my intention is really to be open and to share whether or not anybody cares. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to do it anyways. Um, the other thing I'm going to do is, and that is actually, that's my own practice for myself around being vulnerable and creating intimacy and connection, because I have often felt a sense of not belonging and a sense of isolation and feeling apart, apart from people, apart from things, apart from community. And it's not that people are not beautiful and that I don't love them and that I don't want to connect. It has everything to do with uh, old wounds and self-esteem things and lack of confidence. All of those were factors in my being able to really be present with another and to really share who I am. But I've done a lot of the work to, well, I've done all of the work I've had to to get myself from that space to a space where I'm comfortable in my skin. You know, I do a lot of things deliberately, like wear like weird suits and onesies and just whatever I feel like, without just to work on that piece of myself that is like concerned with what other people think, because that was a big piece for me. What does everybody think of me? And it comes from a lot of needing to people please, um, and so having operated from in that kind of a paradigm for a really long time, it took a while for me to break those habits. It really took a lot of extreme moves on my part, uh, and agreements with myself that it didn't matter what anybody else says, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I'm gonna do it because even myself, like when I'm just like, really, are you gonna wear that thing? Like, I'm like, yes, I am. Darn it, I am going to wear this. Or are you really And I've had comments, and it's almost a borderline not inappropriate. Like, I'm a music teacher, so and I'm a contractor, so I get to wear whatever I want to work, and I can wear it whenever I want. And the kids love it anyways. If I'm in a onesie, like most of the kids are just like, they just eat it up and they're like, oh, I wish I had worn mine. I want to wear my unicorn suit. And I look like I had this unicorn horn that I would wear sometimes just like for random fun. And so my poor, bless her heart, my poor employer was just like, oh, there she is in her suit again, or her onesie, or her whatever this. And I'm like, yep. And she's just like, shakes her head at me, she's like, oh, did you wear pajamas to wear? I have a tiger onesie. Wear that to work one day. But she was not impressed. Um, she's like, well, Tim is wearing her pajamas today. I'm like, yep, pretty much, and but it was really for me that training of, it doesn't matter if they laugh at you, it doesn't matter if they think you're stupid, it doesn't matter if they are like, they don't get it, doesn't matter if they think you're crazy. It really does not matter. What matters is what you think about yourself. And so I guess I was just being a rebel. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna rebel against this like formal, and it was a bit of a like rebellion, because really, like, I'm an October baby. My favorite time of year and my favorite thing in the world is Halloween. I love getting dressed up. I love being in costume. It's so much fun. I love that you get to go around and get candy. Like, I'm just such a kid that way, you know. And my parents always made a big deal about, well, my mom was big on Christmas, that's her big thing. And I love Christmas too. But yeah, for me, Halloween is like where it's at. And I just love that fun of being able to wear what you want. And I often wished that we could just be Halloweening it all the time, and you just walk outside and you would see like people dressed as fairies, or see, just whatever you're feeling like in that moment, that whimsical, like, embrace your inner child um, kind of vibe. And so it's really important to me. And so I encourage you not to necessarily do what I do, but um, these are just little things that I have done to help myself really get in touch with, what is it that I want to do? What is it that feels good for me right now? I am in my unicorn onesie today. Heck yes, I am, because I'm sad that my dog passed away and I needed something soft and comfy and rainbow colored and like reminding me of when I was a little girl, just to really um, put a warm hug around that little girl. Because, quite frankly, like, we are in a coronavirus time and there's not a lot of physical touch happening. Like, I get pets and love from my dogs, and I hug trees like a mofo because did you know that trees actually, um, they let off, I think they let off endorphins. So, like, or like when you give someone a hug, it's like you get endorphins, and then there's an exchange of that. The trees do that same thing with you. So it's like they will actually, like, virtually, they are like hugging you back. Like the what you get, that uh I'm not a scientist. I'm not very good at remembering how to describe that, but the same like release of whatever that is, um they give that out. So it's like they will actually physically hug you back. It's really cool. And I highly recommend it if you are single and you don't get a lot of loving. Just go out and hug a tree. Go, like, and earthing is a beautiful thing too. If you've never earthed, try to get out in nature every day and be on the earth for at least 10 minutes. And if you can be barefoot, be barefoot. I wish that I had done that. There was wasps in the grass today, so I was not really too keen on being barefoot. But that's I was on the ground, so you can lay on the ground too. Um, and uh, it's a beautiful, beautiful practice, and you can ground down into the earth, and you can also send a lot of however you are feeling. You want to ground down into the earth, you can send your, imaginary roots from your feet down deep into the earth, feeling into the core of the of Gaia, and really connecting. That's, connecting with her heart and connecting your heart center with her heart. So that's a really, really beneficial practice, especially for those of you. I don't know if anybody out there is like me in terms of like the headspace, but I am very heady. So I can often be way up in my head and I'm just basically a floating head. And like the rest of my body, I feel so disassociated from my body. Um, that was a problem for a really long time. Now it's not so much. Now I have practices like my practice is grounding. It brings me into my body. It helps me to feel my body. Um, Yoga helps me to feel my body. Meditation helps me to feel my body. Mantra helps me to feel my body. And then visualization. So these are all of the techniques and the things that I really am passionate about and want to share with everybody because it's had such a huge and profound impact on the level of emotional and mental and spiritual and physical health. So it's amazing, and it has really, really transformed me from the inside out, and I'm much more able to be present and much more able to feel my feelings and not numb out. I'm much more able to like feel like I'm here on the ground and I belong here on the ground and that I have my own space. That was a really big learning thing for me. I will definitely speak about that because for a very long time I did not feel like had a right to my own space. I did not feel like I had a right to be here. I felt like an alien. I felt like an alien in my body, and I felt like an alien on this planet, and I felt like an alien in the lives of everybody around me. Like I just always felt like I was so different and misunderstood and all of these things, and a lot of it was because I didn't know how to clear my space and I didn't know how to protect my space, um, guard my space. To really I didn't know how to set boundaries. Those are all really, really important things to know how to do, and I didn't have good examples of that, and I had nobody to teach that to me, and I didn't even know, like, I didn't have the awareness to know that that was something that I needed, um, until I was really confronted with the fact that I had no boundaries. And I was like, all of these like things that would happen in my life and the relationships that I'd have and the toxicity and the traumas and the abuse and the different things that I have gone through really alerted me. And then the way that I would be um, either victimized, like I would take on like a victim role with it, or I would feel like I would overcompensate. And there's many things, there's many times where I was emotionally inappropriate in terms of like wanting to, like, that's where the codependency stuff is, where I was wanting to, like, um, I don't want to get too much into that right now. But there were some unhealthy things, and it was actually through all of that, and so I'm so grateful for it. It's through all of this and the experience of it that brought the, like, light on that, wow, there's problems here, there's issues here, what's going on? And I had to do some research and some digging, and I had to figure out, oh, okay, like this comes from the way that I was raised. This comes from the relationship with my parents that I had, and the relationship with my teachers, and the relationship I had with my peers. and the way that I internalized things, and my lack of ability of knowing how to hold my center, to be who I am, and not to be threatened or bullied or to be pushed around and be a pushover. All of those things. Some people, I guess, naturally have the inherent ability to defend themselves against that. I really am a very sensitive, like almost overly sensitive at times, kind of a kid. And so I took everything really personally, and I'm an empath as well. And so um, I think everyone is an empath, really. We all have empathy, but some to a greater degree than others. And if you don't know how to guard your empathy and like use it wisely, then it actually is very detrimental to you and to the people around you. It's dangerous. So I will love to talk about those kinds of things going forward, and maybe particularly have like episodes of whatever around a specific topic. And so that will be part of the offerings that I put out. And yeah, I think that's pretty clear. Just getting organized, creating course content, learning about marketing, getting better, cameras and things like that, and to make better video and quality, and learning the video editing. Those are all things that I have to learn. So and but I thought, I could wait until I know all of that and then put out quality video, and you know um, and I know it would be better, and I will have a lot more interest. This is not going to bring a lot of interest um, into play, probably, but that's okay. You know, I was learning as I go, and every step is super fun for me, and this is part of my journey and part of the fun, and this is what I'm doing for me, um, and I'm excited about it. So, uh, what else do I intend? I intend to come into union with myself. I intend to draw to myself unconditional love and to share that with everybody around me. I intend to find union with all of my projects, and to align with unconditional love within a romantic partnership. So I am calling that into my life, and I intend that that will be fully realized in this period ahead. And as I continue to refine uh, myself as a person, to get my career and to get all of my finances and everything in order, to really be the partner to myself that I think is deserving to be for the partner, for my lifelong partner. Um, and I do believe in that. That's something I'm calling into my life. I'm not suggesting you have to, but I believe there's one person, and that there's a very special person for each and every one of us. I am a sap like that. It's possibly from the fairy tales that we were programmed with as children, but um, it's just something that was inherently in me from a very young age. I just always was like searching for my counterpart. Always. I just always knew that somebody was out there. And so I'm calling that to me. For me, I'm believing 110% that that is coming for me. And I'm aligning fully with myself so that I can have that. I'm fully aligning to the authentic being that I am, and being present with myself and being present with everybody around me, and really developing that ability to have intimacy and trust, and not be held back by wounds, not be held back by limited behaviors and thoughts and habits. And so that is what I am super, super hype about and passionate about. And those will be the offerings that you will see coming forward. So look forward to that. If you are interested in any of these topics, please like, subscribe. I'm going to offer some, valuable techniques on how to work through some of these things, and I'll be developing course around that as well. So I will be, taking time to document what I've been working on and how it has benefited me and my life, and then I will offer specific episodes about that, using affirmation, using declaration, using light language, using light to heal yourself, to work with the chakra systems. I'm going to be talking about, yeah, all of those things. And how to develop really strong boundaries, what you can do for yourself, how you can set up habits with your family, with your friends, with your social media, how to guard yourself and your space so that you are fully in alignment with everything that feels good for you. And a good question to ask yourself is what I am doing going to benefit union? And for you, it has to be whatever term in your own life, like what does union really mean? For me, it's like being in full alignment with my yes. It's being fully aligned with, like, my mind, body, spirit, and soul saying yes, all in tandem to that thing, to that. If that's there, then that's a go. And if what my choices are in this moment will get me closer to that union, then I do it. And if it's not, if it's going to take me away from union, then I got to figure out how to not do that, or I had to figure out a different solution. And that's like a really, really simple, direct way of just being like, um, is this going to help me get closer? Then I'll do it. If it's going to take me further away, then I don't. And don't get me wrong, it's not foolproof. I still struggle because when you are attached to a habit, or you're attached to a person or a thing or a way of life, a pattern, it can be very difficult to disassociate yourself from that, and it takes time. So be gentle with yourself, and don't beat yourself up if you do the thing, or if you forget to ask yourself that question. But the more that you can bring that question about for yourself, the more that you can really get clear, like, what balances me, what feels good, what do all of my whole soul, what does it all like, where is the yes on all of those levels? If it agrees with that and it's taking me into the direction that I am guiding myself, like my higher self is guiding me to, then I'm in union with that, and I'm in alignment with that, and that's the choice to make. Um, so yeah, that's a little bit of what I wanted to share today. I really, really bless your hearts and souls and bodies and minds with union in your own life, with those things that really get you excited. Find union with your passion, find union with your finances and abundance, find union within your relationships, find union with your relationship to your inner child, find union with relationship to your higher self, find union with God, find, if you what God being whatever you, I'm not going to preach about any kind of religion here. I'm not talking about religion here. I'm talking about source. I'm talking about the greater essence of, the bigness and the expansiveness of who you are. So whatever that means for you, um, align with that. And again, I can't tell you what that is. Align with your own beliefs. Align your beliefs to really what you believe, not what other people believe or tell you to believe. Don't do anything that I tell you to do. I'm only making suggestions based on my own experience of what works for me, and what I have trial and errored and known, okay, well, that thing doesn't work for me. You know, Going to substance abuse, it works for me in the moment when I want to smoke a cigarette. It feels freaking amazing. It feels great. But then my throat complains and my body complains and I'm nicking out and I need another one. And I don't like knowing that I need another one when I, quite frankly, don't need another one. I didn't need one in the first place. um, for smokers and non-smokers out there, I don't know if you guys know this. Probably, I would imagine smokers would know, because if you're a smoker, you've tried to quit, guaranteed, because we all know that smoking is bad for us. um, and don't feel bad if you are trying to quit and you haven't yet. Like, just to have the intention of that is so powerful, and good on you. And if you're smoking and you're enjoying it and you don't want to quit, good on you too. I'm not, like I said, I'm not forcing anything down anybody's throat here. Everybody has a different path and a different choice to make. But for me, I knew that smoking was making me more negative. I knew that I was grumpy if I didn't have a cigarette. I knew that it drove me nuts that I constantly had to make sure that I had enough cigarettes to get me through the day at work. Because if I was gonna be like, and then I had to plan my breaks to make sure that I would be able to go outside and have enough time to have a cigarette. And I would be so stressed about it. And then I would be partway through a lesson at work and I would be like, oh, I'm nicking out. Like, I just really wanna like take a break between like my, you know, between my students or between, like, and I smoked for a long time, so it was like various different jobs. And the worst was actually when I was teaching, because I was like, I'm teaching little kids, I don't want to smell like cigarettes, like it's just so wrong. I just felt so wrong about it. But in any case, what I was just going to say is that you probably already know this, because it's kind of like, I guess, a lot of drugs, but nicotine actually dep- it it depletes you of a natural, uh, what your brain naturally produces. I think it's dopamine, that it depletes, and then, am I wrong here? Goodness gracious, I need to write these things down. I'm like, did you know that I don't know anything about what I'm talking about? um, I'm pretty sure it's dopamine, and it depletes your brain of it, and then you become dependent on the nicotine to bring those levels back up. But it actually robs you of what is naturally produced by your own brain naturally, but then it like screws you up so that you then depend on the cigarette for that thing that your body naturally produces in way more like natural higher doses than what the cigarette is giving you. So that's why you like, that's why we constantly like will chain smoke and like need another one and another one and another one, because we're trying to get that back to that usual normal amount. And it's also like totally screwing up your neurological pathways, like, um anyways, so many things about smoking that's just crazy. And when I was researching about it and doing the process of quitting, and I've quit multiple times and I've started again and I've quit and I've started, and so quitting is a lifelong thing. And if you have relapses, it's just par and course for the fact that we ever started that silly habit in the first place. Um, but and I have like, the other day, I have not had a cigarette in probably 6 months now, 7 months, if that's correct. Well, maybe a little bit less than that actually. And so that's what I mean, like smoking on and off, right? But I that when I was smoking, the 6 months ago, it was just for, I think, I smoked, oh yeah, I smoked for about a month because my stepmom died. And I was like, I need cigarettes. I don't care. I'm smoking. And I started smoking. That was in January. So whatever that is now, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So it's about 7 months that I haven't had a cigarette. And I was out in my yard the other day and my neighbor had a smoke going. I could smell it. And I was like, where's that coming from? Oh, I want a cigarette. Oh, I want a cigarette. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, it's summer and I want a cigarette. I don't know what the point of this whole talk about cigarettes. I don't know where that came from. Um, I think I was talking about that thing that doesn't serve you, though. And I knew that it wasn't serving me because overall, my quality of health was declining. I needed to get up to have smokes in the middle of the night because I'd be nicking out. Um, just so many things. I smelled all the time. I'd have to wash my clothes all the time. I definitely, like, I'm super anal, and like if my hair smells like smoke, it drives me crazy. So I was, washing my hair every single day. Now I can like go a day or two, 3 days, and I don't have to wash my hair. And that to me is such a bonus. It's really nice. Um, so you just got to find the perks of the other side and know that you're getting in union with your own perfect health, with your body being at its optimal, and knowing that your body is freaking an amazing machine, and like you can bring balance to all of your systems, and trusting that you're capable of that because that's how you were designed in the first place. All this disease, sickness, coronavirus, all of that, like, come on, please. Honestly, it is a symptom of our lack of self-love, a lack of understanding who we are and how powerful we are. Not saying it's not a real thing. I'm not like coronavirus is a conspiracy. I'm not one of those people. um, I believe that it's a real threat, and I abide by it, and I have a healthy respect for, you know, germs and those, bacteria that they are not, they are real. But what I'm trying to say is that our mental state, and we can prepare ourselves, and we can do things for ourselves that boost our immune system and make us stronger, and set ourselves up for success rather than exposing ourselves even more so to those dangers and those toxins and those things around us. So, and all of that comes around to, self love, um, and what you're willing to um, endure in your own body and your own like mind. And when I started to really see the relationship with myself for what it was and how important I was to me, that's when everything shifted for me. That's when I was able to like change all my habits. And I'm still working on many bad habits. Like I just struggle with insomnia and stress. That was, I think, in large part due to what I was going through this year. Grief has been such a big theme, and it is for all of us on various levels. I know that we're all losing loved ones. We're all, um, uh, you know, in social isolation, distancing. That's a huge thing to grieve. Those natural connections and relationships, and the way that we interact with each other, and like it's the way of our life is essentially dying before our very eyes. It's like, what do I do? How do I re-identify with like who I am in the midst of all of this? And so, but that in itself is like why it's so important to find those things that speak to you and that ground you, and not be doing it for anybody else, not be doing it because it's going to get you likes or to get, I mean, go for it, but to do it really for your what it gets your likes, your thumbs up, your like, yes, I feel good today, like that was like good on me. Find those things for yourself, and that's exciting, that's fun, and that's rewarding. So that's where my heart is on these topics. I'm using this gateway to call in all of this and um, to clear out all of the clutter and excess of my life. I've been really, that's my biggest challenge. If any of you are really good with that sort of thing, and have tips about that, oh my gosh, please, please, please hit me up and let me know, because um, I do purges and stuff like that, and I have a little bit of understanding about feng shui, but I really struggle, and things accumulate really quickly for me, and stuff is oh man. Um, but this Lionsgate, I'm doing it, I'm focusing it, and I'm gonna take that as also part of it. Like, does this item bring union and joy and peace to my life, or does it take away from that? Does it draw away from that? Hopefully that will help. I'll let you guys know how it goes. um, I love you all, and wishing you many blessings and success in your endeavors, in your creativity, in your health, in your abundance, in your relationships. And may you all be well and happy. Um, I look really, really forward to sharing mantras with you. There are so many benefits to it. I can't wait. So look forward to that episode tomorrow. I'm going to be chatting about that and sharing some of my favorite ones with you. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. I don't know what time it's going to be at just yet. I apologize. I don't have a specific time in mind. Um, but it will likely be sometime in the AM or early PM. So 11 AM ish to anywhere between 11 and kind of 2, 3 PM. I'm planning a bike ride tomorrow, so I gotta kind of get things done probably earlier in the day. So if it doesn't happen in that time frame, then it will have to be quite a bit later, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, look forward to it then. That's my intention. That's what I'll do. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I wish you a happy rest of your Saturday evening, and I'm really, really excited to spend some quality sacred time with you this Sunday. Blessings, and have a good rest tonight. And I love you.